Hello and thanks for choosing Rwanda Television. It's a pleasure bringing you the latest here in Rwanda and across the world. Here is our edition tonight. Nyagatare district residents, especially the youth, demonstrate that the heroism, sacrifice and courage of the Inkotanyi in the liberation struggle serves great lessons of patriotism and preserving the achieved. For the past 29 years since Rwanda's liberation, Geye sector residents in Rusizi district says they are a successful example of change to where citizens-based leadership is a pillar. It's a pleasure having your company tonight. I'm Olive Nete. As we begin our edition, Nyagatare district residents, especially the youth, demonstrates that the heroism, sacrifice and courage of the Inkotanyi in the liberation struggle serves great lessons of patriotism and preserving the achieved. This was said in the Liberation Walk done annually as part of the Liberation Day celebrations on the 4th of July. Prince Manzi kicks us off tonight.
On a higher morale, participants started the Liberation Walk from Nyagatare Stadium to Gikoba in Tabagwe sector, home to many historic events of the Liberation War. This 21 kilometers walk, some say that it is their first time to participate in it. It is my first time in life to complete such a journey. It was a set goal for me to understand the courages of those who liberated this country. A place known as Agasandimetero, the first region occupied by the Inkotanyi in Rwanda, was the main stop. This place, having a trench where resided the then Commander-in-Chief of the RPA and the current President of the Republic of Rwanda, His Excellency Paul Kagame, was the basis of the liberation of Rwanda, as elaborated by Medara Bashana, managing the Campaign Against Genocide Museum. And then Habyarimana declared the first operation, named Rukokoma 1, in July 1991, with the aim of erasing Inkotanyi in Rwanda. But at the end, this Rukokoma 1 operation failed. The plan to fight the implementation of this operation was designed here, on this trench. After being explained on the history, participants, mostly the youth, said that it is their assignment to preserve the achieved. In accordance to the history of this country, as the youth, we believe to continue in the steps of our elders and preventing anything that can disturb the safety of the country. Stephen Gasana, the mayor of Nyagatare district, reiterates that apart from the lessons gained from the heroism of the country's liberators, such a walk is also a way of appreciating the achieved and taking measurements in preserving the achieved. In terms of economic development, we have asphalt roads, and we continue to introduce more roads. In education, we have more than 200 schools. In health, we have also various achievements. This is also emphasized by the governor of the Eastern Province, Emmanuel Gasana, who states that the achieved for the past 29 years is thanks to the great leadership of President Paul Kagame. Liberation is a journey. It is a continuing journey. There are activities being done, adding on the existed. Let us continue to strive for more because we already have the basis. We are not to detach ourselves from the pact. The Liberation Walk is conducted in Nyagatare district for the second time.
In the past 29 years after Rwanda has gained liberation, experts in health and those who seek medical care emphasizes that more than 300 private hospitals contribute greatly in the healthcare thanks to the investment made in the sector, be it in modern equipments, but also skilled workers, which also support the country's goal when it comes to medical tourism. We have details on the story. Dr. Antoine Muyombano has been serving as a medical doctor for 47 years. He started his profession abroad, but later on returned to Rwanda in 1994, where he started a clinic under the name of Polyclinique du Plateau. In a 584-page book he wrote, called Umusanzu Wuzima, meaning the contribution of health, it describes the symptoms of infectious and non-communicable diseases, their prevention, and their treatment.
Why writing? I just wanted to urge the youth to have the culture of reading and writing, and also to urge them to write in Kinyarwanda so as to value our language, and also to show people that it is possible to write in your mother tongue. When you're writing such books, this helps those who read these books to understand and follow the advice containing in it.
Willie Amizero, in charge of public relations at La Croix du Sud Hospital, points out that the hospital is being expanded to meet the standards pertaining to the country's goals when it comes to medical tourism.
We only had 4 operation rooms, but it will be 8, and we are also looking on how to hire skilled doctors needed in Rwanda. That is why we also opened a branch in Gisenyi, so that even neighboring countries such as Congo can also get appropriate medical services in Rwanda. All of that goes in line with the country's goal when it comes to medical tourism.
Some of the people who seek medical care at these private medical facilities explain why they attend them.
When they are done treating and providing you with medicines and discharge you, they keep on following on the improvement of the patient.
When you attend these hospitals, they receive and provide services urgently so that you can also attend other various programs. That is why I love to attend private hospitals. Dr. Antoine Muyombano, he is pleased that his contribution assisted people in various ways.
I always meet with people and they usually tell me that they were born at Plateau, and they may even come and show me their children, and all of them they are in good condition, be their spouses, children, and others tell me that they have been cured with the disease they had. It really makes me happy to see doctors who have served here at Polyclinique du Plateau, who have their own hospitals now, and we still work together, and that is a huge contribution.
According to Professor Stephen Rurisa, an expert in medical field, the progress made in medicine in the past 29 years since the country was liberated, the contribution of private medical facilities assisted the country greatly.
When we say liberation is liberating people from bondage, and when people say bondage, usually they see political bondage or genocidal regimes and so on. But it's not enough if you survive a genocide and you die of diseases or you die of hunger. Still, it does not make a complete sense. So complete liberation is whereby you are free and you are healthy. So health professionals help to liberate people from that. So private clinics or hospitals help to bring life, if I could say, treat patients and bring health services close to the people. So it is a very, very big add-on to the government facilities.
More than 300 private medical facilities are among the largest employers and receive more than 1 million out of 3 million medical visits per year, including in public hospitals. In matters related to liberation still, let us invite you, if you have any queries that you would love the head of state to address, you may send your questions through RBA's social media platforms. You can post a question on Twitter at RBA Rwanda and on Instagram at RBA.Rwanda. You can also send a text message by writing Kwibahora 29 space your question and send your message to 5074. Now moving ahead, for the past 29 years since the Rwanda's liberation, Bweye sector residents in Rusizi district say that there are successful examples of change to where citizen-based leadership is a pillar. Prince Manzi with a report.
The Bweye sector of 15 years ago is way different from the current, as back in the days, there used to be no electricity. Since the introduction of electricity in the Bweye sector, residents' lives no longer been the same. Janet Kabatesi is a tailor. appreciating that she's currently able to use modern equipment, which was not the case back in the time.
Those equips produce models for both women and men. They require a lot of electricity, but provides good quality.
The Bweyeye sector is close to the Rwanda border between Rwanda and Burundi. Bweyeye residents mostly cross the border to Burundi for commuting. Their land was bitter, the government introduced in it lime and other chemicals, and now they cultivate different sorts of crops. Joseph Munyemari is a professional farmer. He cultivates Irish potatoes. We were given lime, we introduced it in our farms, and I can say that like 60% of Bweyeye residents rely on these farms. Bweyeye residents are also professional livestock farmers, with fishing being at the forefront. Back in the days, Bweyeye sector had no secondary school. Currently, there's a secondary school as well as a technical secondary school given by the President of the Republic after the 2019 National Mushyikirano Council.
We are grateful for the technical school. Bweyeye used to be an underdeveloped region, but now we are striving of becoming great engineers from Bweyeye.
An asphalt road reaching to Bweyeye from the Pindura region is on a 70% rate of completion. Back in the days, reaching Bweyeye, the best directions were through Burundi. Bweyeye sector is on a 222 square kilometers of land with 18,234 as population. Electricity distribution is on a 61% rate, water distribution is on a 57.7% rate, all from 0% 29 years ago. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Prince Manzi, for the report, and we recognize the great achievements made throughout these 29 years. Now, moving ahead, residents, commuters, and workers in Huye District, Southern Province, say that in the 29 years since the liberation, there has been many changes in infrastructure, such as roads and buildings that have contributed to the development of the country and the people in general. Prince Manzi continues.
In the city of Huye, in these 29 years, 11 kilometers of asphalt roads have been built. Those who use these roads express that the both roads have made it much easier for them. We used to have bad roads, no traffic signs, but now we have good roads, and they bought even more roads, designed passengers' ways. We are very grateful. In the city of Huye, there are found various commercial buildings. Entrepreneurs in this city demonstrate that this gave room to innovation and creation of businesses. Francine Murekatete, heading the Ingenziza Huye Cooperative, that recently completed its second commercial building in Huye City in 12 years, states that they dared to continue their investment and they are currently planning on other development projects.
In the cooperative objectives include constructing other commercial buildings and accommodations. All this is an ongoing plan and in support of the district administration and the leadership of our country, emphasizing entrepreneurs to dream bigger and cooperate. We believe to successfully implement this.
The established roads, hotels, commercial buildings, and other infrastructures like the stadium are achievements to be proud of for these past 29 years since the liberation. Ange Sebuteje is the mayor of Huye District. Citizens continued to develop the city basing on the master plan, and we are appreciative of this. Huye is becoming a clean and safe city with basic infrastructures for the citizens and commuters. We appreciate the collaboration with various stakeholders, and established infrastructures are being made productive by entrepreneurs and on a great rate. The city of Huye is included in the 6 secondary cities after Kigali, with 79,744 as population, equivalent to 20.9% of the Huye district population. The NST1 goals project that in 2024, cities are to be populated by 34% of citizens. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
Now, on religious matters, the Pentecostal Church of Rwanda has expressed its desire to ensure that its school revive the sort of quality of education that made them very desirable in the past. The church has celebrated the 75th anniversary since it opened its very first primary school. We have details.
Nyakabwende Primary School in Nyakabwe sector of Rusizi district in the Western Province was the Pentecostal Church of Rwanda's very first school in the country. And 25 years later, ADEPR opened its first secondary school in the same district, the legendary Groupe Scolaire Gihundwe. I came here in 1981 and graduated from the school in 1987. As they said, we had two sections, those who studied education to later become teachers themselves and those who studied accounting. We are grateful to the administration of the school at that time because they demanded only the best from us. Some people thought they exaggerated, and I do not say this lightly because we started as 41 students, but only 9 of us were able to graduate. It is not because we were not bright. Rather, it was because there was zero tolerance for anything less than your very best. Today, ADEPR has 316 primary and secondary schools countrywide, 66 of them in Gihundwe. Across the country, the church is responsible for 3,477 teachers and up to 154,511 students. However, as ADEPR's leadership points out, more is not always better. We want to reform these schools to get them to the standard we desire. Today has shown us that we have a long way to go because honestly I cannot say that we are just celebrating. You heard what the former student of this school said about how things were back in the 80s, and I just do not see that anymore. This is a bitter lesson for me because what he described no longer exists here, and it should. We want Gihundwe and Chazo to once again become what they used to be. We want Groupe Scolaire Sundwa to be a school that is desired in the entire southern province. La Corvette is loved in Rwamagana, but we want to extend that school's influence to other areas as well. The same for the school at Ngoma. In brief, therefore, we are leaving this place with a challenge before us, and so it has not just been celebrations for us today. To coincide with the anniversary, the church organized week-long activities to promote education and the welfare of local residents in different areas countrywide. Officials from the Ministry of Education present at the function commended the Pentecostal Church of Rwanda for its efforts to promote education in the country over the decades and urged for cooperation to continue in giving children the very best possible education. We want well-behaved and able children. For that to be possible, as educators, you must work closely with parents, with ADEPR's leadership and the government itself. Groupe Scolaire Gihundwe, being the Pentecostal Church of Rwanda's very first secondary school, now has infrastructure projects worth more than 100 million Rwandan francs that it wishes to implement, something that was welcomed by both ADEPR's top leadership and the government of Rwanda. To conclude the week-long activities organized to promote education, the best performing 11 primary and secondary school ordinary level students who participated in a competition organized in all of the church's schools received awards as well as scholarships that will cover their entire next academic year.
On behalf of the entire news production team, thank you for joining us and have a blessed week ahead.